I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and let's be honest, sometimes Europe just gets some cool smartphones. One of those is the LG Optimus 4X HD. Now, I don't think this is going to come to the US, at least in its existing form, but it's a smartphone that goes head-to-head against HTC's One X, which was also announced at Mobile World Congress, and Samsung's Galaxy S3. Let's take a look at LG's flagship smartphone in the full unboxing. The LG Optimus 4X HD finally in the office. This is a device we saw at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona earlier in the year, and so far as we know it's not coming to the US, at least in its present form, but it's still a high-end Android smartphone that can compete with the likes of the Samsung Galaxy S3, the HTC One X, and more. And hey, the HTC One X was actually announced at Mobile World Congress as well, so it's kind of like a special battle. Before I get too far into that though, some love to Best Buy Mobile for hooking us up with phones like this for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway game. When you go into Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out working. They'll help you set up your email, your web, and more, so when you walk out the door, you are good to go. Here's the LG Optimus 4X HD in a nice box as well, and then of course an adapter because this is a European device, so it has a European power adapter inside. Let's take a look here at what comes inside of the box. Give you a rundown on the specs. 1.5 gigahertz quad-core processor. It's got a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera. You have an 8 megapixel rear camera that shoots video at 1080p, a 4.7-inch HD display, an IPS HD display at 720p. Let's see if I can yank it out of the box there. Bluetooth 4.0, HSPA plus 21 megabits per second. And here we go, 4X HD, and then on the back it says quad-core, True HD IPS, 2,150 milliamp hour battery, and of course Android 4.0 with LG's new version of their custom user interface. Special thanks to Negri Electronics as well for hooking us up with a unit that we purchased from them. So always nice to work with them. They are great guys. So Optimus 4X HD here. I've got a SIM card over here, so let's go ahead and put that in while we're thinking about it. Got an AT&T SIM card. We'll load that up. NFC tag, LG tag, and then of course actually the box looks a lot like previous Optimus boxes. And then you get your LG P880 Kurling Jingting Quick Start Guide. I probably butchered that. That's okay though. Again, 2,100 milliamp hour battery. Kurling Ting. I'm sure that's right. And basically that's probably spot on. And then in the box you get your AC adapter and your USB cable, which you know what, we're going to open it up. We're going to go big here. We go big or go home on Wednesday afternoons in the Phone Dog offices. USB cable. European AC adapter module. Thanks to Negri Electronics. Got a US version. I'm having some trouble opening this. Some serious trouble. You guys are like, get on to the unboxing already. Got that right there. Bam. And then some earbuds as well. Some white earbuds because like I said, I did pick up the white model. So got all this in the box, and then of course an NFC tag, which we'll be sure to play with some more as the full review takes place. But it's a really nice device. You know, I mentioned this at Mobile World Congress. You know, LG's gotten some flack over recent years for their user interface, especially with some of the devices that have come to Verizon and some of the other carriers. AT&T with the LG Nitro HD. It's not the best user interface in the world by any means. And I will say, ooh, good sticker. I will say that it's much improved on the Optimus 4X HD. So here it is, white device, good looking device as well. 8.9 millimeters thin, comes in at about 133 grams on the weight side. And let's get these stickers off and let's power it on. I'm going to make sure I don't hide the display from the camera so you can see what it looks like when it powers on. Let's hope that there's enough battery to get through an unboxing. Let's see here. There we go. LG starting up right now. Again, Android 4.0 with this new user interface. It is much more robust over previous builds of LG's custom UI. So starting up now, 4.7-inch HD IPS display, like I said. And this white's a good looking color as well. And then there's the LG. Hello, LG. Life's good. And then, of course, camera on the back, 8 megapixel camera. Like I said, you got your front-facing camera as well. So if you're on AT&T, you're going to take advantage of HSPA Plus speeds. Let's run through this here. English, next. Let's go through the mobile network. Next. We're going to not do this right now. Then down here, you've got some capacitive buttons. You've got back, you have home, and then you have recent applications as well. So let's run through this as quickly as we can so we can get started into the good stuff. And that's the meat of the device, my friends. Here we go, Android 4.0, and LG's user interface starting up. right now. And like I said, if Mobile World Congress is any indication, this is a pretty decently spec device that I'm excited to play with. Now, obviously, this is a European device, so you're not going to get any carrier-installed bloatware on this device just yet, at least, assuming it never comes to the U.S. But out of the gate, you're going to see some pretty heavy customizations. You'll notice the alarm clock icon, the application manager icon. Things like that are all very customized to LG's user interface. But this is what it looks like when you open up the menu. You've got your applications here. You've got LG NFC tag. This is intended to compete with Samsung's Tech Tiles. And then, of course, that Sony Ericsson solution as well. Media Home, which we'll investigate more in the full review. Cell Broadcast. You've got some download stuff. Application Manager. Then over here, you have Software Update, LG Smart World, Smart Share. And then, of course, you have the shortcut Task Manager, Memo Pad, which is something I use on a regular basis. Then you have your Downloads folder, and then your Widgets folder over here as well, which combines all of the Google widgets with Ice Cream Sandwich with some custom LG widgets as well. Things like Yahoo Finance. Let's take a look at what else we get. Music Player, Weather, and then a couple of other. It looks like LG's gone a little bit lighter on the custom widgets that they've included on this device itself. But then, of course, the menu button down here, and I said recent applications button, I apologize. That is the menu button. I'm assuming you press and hold home, exactly, to get the recent applications. Then the notifications bar, just so you know, quick memo, sound, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and I can edit it as well and move stuff around and add some new settings to that as well. So I can kind of customize and make this notifications bar my own. So like I said, specs, it's packing a pretty nice 1.5 gigahertz quad-core NVIDIA Tegra 3. So it's definitely packing a nice processor. This thing's going to compete head-to-head with the HTC One X and the Samsung Galaxy S3. The real question I'm going to have in the full review is, has LG's interface matured enough to the point where it can compete with Sense 4 and the new version of TouchWiz? And settings, you're going to notice here, kind of a stock Ice Cream Sandwich look and feel with the exception of the toggles and, of course, some of the icons. But then our display stuff here as well. Font types, font size, I can change this if I want to. Change that down and make it small. And I can go into things like home screen, and you can customize the theme, the animation, the screen effect, the wallpaper, and more. And then when I press and hold, I can scroll through what looks to be my 7 home screens, and I can add apps, I can add widgets, or I can change wallpapers as well. So again, kind of an evolution of what we've seen in previous builds of LG's custom user interface. So let's just make that the wallpaper, for example, and see how it looks. And then down here you've got some shortcuts as well. Let's take a look at messaging, take a look at the LG keyboard. We'll load this up into a new one. And then let's say, hey there, how are you doing? Nice and fast. 4.7-inch display is going to be nice and large for most people. And of course, portrait to landscape transitions are reasonably fast as well. Let's take a look at the web browser. NFC is turned on, as you can see up there. And let's go over here to Internet and take a look and see what it looks like also. Got our tabs here. Again, kind of a sort of stock Google feel here. I mean, you know, it's funny to look at how LG and Samsung and Motorola and all these carriers have kind of gone from having really heavily customized devices to, in 2012, kind of keeping the stock Ice Cream Sandwich. It's a testament to the success of Ice Cream Sandwich and their ability, Google's ability, that is, to finally make something that looks aesthetically pleasing. So PhoneDog.com will load that up right now. Again, HSPA plus, 21 megabits per second on AT&T. Unfortunately, this thing does not support the AWS band, so you won't get T-Mobile 3G right now, or 4G, whatever you want to call it, until they refarm it to the 1900 megahertz spectrum. But again, pinch to zoom, nice and fast here, a little to no lag there. And of course, you've got your menu button down here for additional information. And now that I've got some things open, I can see the recent applications. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for continuing coverage of the LG Optimus 4X HD. Super excited to have this in the house, and it's going to go head-to-head in some dogfights against the One X, the Galaxy S3, and more. Hey, if you haven't voted yet, go vote for your favorite smartphone at PhoneDog.com/rankings. Cast your vote. Let us know why you love that device as much as you do, and be sure to leave a review at PhoneDog.com/rankings. Follow me on Twitter as well, PhoneDog_Aaron on the Twitters, as I like to call it, and Facebook, Facebook.com/PhoneDogAB. I'm off to test this device with its 3.5mm headphone jack, its power button, its volume rocker over here, and a relatively thin profile. So keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for continuing coverage of the LG Optimus 4X HD.